you see me? It's a pretty good look for me, right? Hey, all my awesome artists, it's Mrs. Kazmarek, and if you chose this lesson, you are choosing a still life. A still life is a work of art with fruit or vegetables or anything that doesn't move. So for this lesson, you get to find things around your house. Could be anything. It could be a toy like my friend Cloud Guy here, who likes to do the floss. It could be some art supplies that you might have around your house. Like I have this container of art utensils that I use. It could be a bowl of fruit. It could be, I have this little fake faux planter here that I used. And I found these rocks over the summer. I went to the Lake Erie and I found these amazing rocks. And so I collected some of them and brought them home and I just love them. So I have these 3 rocks here and I have my plant with the polka dots. So this is gonna be my still life and I have my drawing here, but we're gonna draw along again. I'm gonna draw this again. And so you're gonna find just a few items and keep it simple, guys. Don't complicate this. Don't stress out. Don't pick something like it's a toy that's gonna take you forever to draw or something that is a lot of little pieces that you might struggle with drawing. Keep it easy, keep it simple. So I found this faux plant that I'm gonna draw and I've got my 3 stones here. And as you can see, I have a completed still life. This also includes a lot of elements of art. In this piece, we have line, we have shape. We don't have color, baby color yet because I didn't color it, but we also have form. These flat shapes look 3D and we can achieve that with some very few little tips and tricks that I'm going to show you along the way. Also, my drawing has texture. I included these little spikes here that give my drawing the illusion that this also has those little spikes. Okay, so we're using a lot of elements of art with this drawing today. So what you're gonna do is find some things around your house. Couple things, like I said, keep it simple. This is easy to draw, so that's why I chose it. Also, some rocks are easy to draw, why I chose them as well. And then you're gonna set it up. So let's say I have my stuff the way I had it like this. And obviously you're looking at this angle, you're looking at it down, which is fine. You could draw at this angle, but I'm sitting at my desk here and the way I'm looking at this is this angle where I'm looking at it from the side. So depending on how you want to draw, you're gonna set up your art and it'll look a little different than what it is here, but you can see my finished example. So I'm gonna put this over here. And I have my fresh paper, I have a pencil, and I have a black marker that I'm gonna use after I'm done. You can see some of my pencil is still present, and then I went over it with a black marker. So, what you're going to do is look at what you have in front of you and think about where you can begin. The easiest thing for me to begin was at the top. I have these green things here, so I'm gonna draw the green first. Okay, so I noticed that I have some shapes here and they're kind of like triangles. So I started with my first leaf and then I added more leaves here, okay, and I built onto it. Now you might not have this still life in front of you. Obviously, you probably don't have these examples. If you would like to follow along with me, you can. You can draw what I'm drawing, or like I said, you can find things around your house to draw and then just draw after you're done watching this video. So I'm keeping it nice and simple. I'm drawing light until I get it right. So if I mess up, I can erase. I'm not pressing too heavy. Some kids like to use a sketchy hand. When you sketch, you're drawing super lightly and you draw lots of little lines to make your shape. Then you go over it with a heavy hand, you pressing down harder and it's like one smooth line. If you'd like to sketch, you can sketch. Some kids don't like to sketch. Some kids like to just draw their lines without sketching. I'm kind of in between. Sometimes I sketch, sometimes I just draw with a heavy line. It's up to you. It's what you prefer. I just know, as with you guys being young, if you mess up, it's a lot easier to erase if you draw lightly. So that's why I recommend doing that. So let me see here. I've got a few more pieces of leaf in the front that are kind of coming out at me. And there's another piece here and another piece here. Okay, so there's like my little green plant. I'm not gonna worry about the little spikes. I'm not gonna add in details till the end. I'm just gonna get the main idea. I say this in art class a lot about when you go to an ice cream place to make your ice cream sundaes, you always start with the ice cream first. Then you add the toppings. You don't really put the toppings in the bowl first. You always start with the ice cream. So that's what we're starting with. We're starting with the ice cream. Then we'll worry about all the toppings later. That way, if you need to erase something, you didn't spend all this time on little details, they have to erase it. Anyways, so now I have the shape of my pot here, and it is a circle. This is a cylinder. In real life, this is a cylinder. So it's not a straight line, it's actually a curved line. So I'm gonna draw very lightly, starting with, I'm gonna look at my example, the pot comes about here and it comes around. So I like to draw light until I get it right, and then I go back over it a few times. That way I know it's even. So that's what my little pot looks like. Kind of made it a little too big, so I'm gonna go in. So there you have it. There's the top of my pot. And then there's a little rim here. So I'm just gonna add that rim in, and then I can erase any lines I don't need. Next is, there's a thick band here. So I'm gonna draw some diagonal lines coming down. And you wanna make sure you're curving, because this is, like I said, this is a cylinder. So that's gonna make it look realistic. This is gonna make it look like it is a form, not a shape. If you remember, forms are fat, I make my muscles, and shapes are flat. We're making an illusion that we have this realistic vase in front of me, or you. So we've got our diagonal lines coming down, and then the bottom of this is also a cylinder, so we're gonna curve down here. Instead of a straight line, we curve. That's gonna make it look more realistic. Okay, cool. So then when you're done, you can always go back in, pressing a little bit harder, just so you know which lines you wanna keep. Okay, or you can just wait and use a marker. Totally up to you. So there's my pot. Now I've got these 3 stones here, and they're overlapping. So of course I'm gonna draw lightly because I'm overlapping them, and then I'm gonna erase what I don't need. So I have one taller stone, it's about right here, okay? I also have this stone here that's a little bit shorter and wider, and that comes in the front. And then I've got this guy here that's overlapping this rock. And it comes a little bit like this. So now I can erase anywhere that I don't need. I did press a little bit hard here, so I'm gonna have to use my muscles to erase these lines. And if you can see them a little bit, that's okay. Oh wait, you don't wanna erase that one. I wanna keep that, I wanna erase this one. There we go. Okay, so there's my rocks. These are just like circle-ish oval shapes, right? They are not a form. These are shapes. They are flat. I want to make these rocks look more realistic. Just like I used these curved lines here for my pot, I need to make my lines, these look more realistic. And there's 2 things you can do. You can add texture, you can add shading. So lines and shading to create a more realistic rock. So if you look very closely, I've got these cool lines here, especially on this one. I don't know if you can see, maybe if I pull this up like this. See these little like lines here? So I'm gonna use that to my advantage, and I'm gonna add in these curved lines. And when I do that, it instantly makes my rock look realistic. Super sweet. Same with this one. I've got these curved lines, so I'm doing these curved lines here, and ba-bam! Those rocks are realistic, man. This one doesn't have those lines, but it has these little dots here. I want to turn this rock, I want to paint this rock into a little birdie so bad because it has this little like bird face I keep seeing. But I can add shading. So down here, the bottom of my rock, there's going to be a shadow. There's a shadow down here where the other rock is touching. And if you make it kind of a curve, like a smile here, you're going to make your rock look so realistic. It already is looking real to me. Super awesome. Now, down in here, just like before, or just like I said a minute ago, shading. Let's add some shadows here. Just by taking my pencil and shading, I'm gonna create the shadows here that will make your art look awesome. Okay, there's also shadows underneath my little planter here, right? My little plant has a little bit of shadow here, okay? Now, you can add in more shadows if you wanted. You can add some curved lines here. You don't have to, but I am gonna make a table line. My table is like way over there, so my table line should be up here. I kind of like when I add my table line here, and then I can do a background, so I can cheat and not do exactly what I see. So for this one, I'll make it higher just to show you. Sorry about these shadows too. I need to find a better light source, I believe. So you can make your table line way up high, and then this is all table here. You can have it coming across, like hopping over your main idea. And then my walls, I have these stripes on my walls, and just to change up the texture, I really do believe that if you change the table to the background and just by adding some lines or something, it really makes your composition really strong. So just by adding a few lines, I've created like some more depth, some space. And space is an element of art. Alrighty? You can always not do a texture on the wall, but do a texture on the table. Or like if you have a tablecloth on your table and there's like some lines or designs, you can add those in too. So now that I've finished drawing, I'm gonna go in with a black marker, and I can add even more details. Like I said, I didn't add in those little spikes because I feel like it's easier just to add them in with my marker. So I go in with my marker and I just start adding in those spikes. And then I can outline. Okay. You can always keep your pencil lines with the shading to give it that gray look. And then use your marker for other things, or outlining and even just adding in texture. If you want, you can always, like I can make this look even more realistic by adding the black dots into the pot like I have in real life. But you can always change things as you need. You can simplify as you need, or you can add in more detail as you need. If you are confident in your drawing and you want to add more, add more. Like I said, and then if you've watched a couple other of my videos, I've explained that I'm going to be giving you feedback on your drawings, and then most likely I'll have you go back and rework them a little bit. So unless you've used marker and you can't really fix it, I might have some ideas like, hey, try this, or come on my Google Meet with me and we're gonna draw this together. So we're gonna be very flexible. I'm gonna be very flexible in your drawings. I want to see you guys learn and grow with me. So as you work on this and you need help, contact me and we will work on it together as best we can virtually. Alrighty, friends, so I hope this was a great help for you, and if you need any more help, please contact me. But here is my still life, my totally awesome still life. Hope you guys had fun. See you later. Bye.